So back from where we stop, next up we have the control flow. So by control flow I mean the for statement, the if statement, and the rest of that. So any statement which you use to make conditions, you understand, or to make conditions stand out. If this is true, let this happen. If this is false, let this happen. For this to be this, you understand, or to look between list of collection of items, you understand. So now let me get rid of everything here. So I don't want animals no longer. So what I want numbers, 2 3, or let me use 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, then lastly 70. So I'm fine with this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. So let me change this from animals to being our usual norm. Yeah, let's leave this at norm. So for the first control statement I'm gonna make use of here, control flow statement I'm gonna make use of here is the for. So the for. So you make use of the for statement to look in between collections of items, you understand? So we could call this also the for loop, you understand? So the for loop takes a slight look alike or a slight similarity with the function, but it's not a function. You know, the function, we define the function type, you understand, then the name of the function, then followed by um brackets, you understand, open bracket, close bracket, then your function body, you understand. So told you guys everything about function. So in case if you're still confused about function, so you could go back to our third video. I think function is the third video or the second one, so go look that up again and then come back. But we make use of the for to look in between collections of items. So for this now we're gonna make our statement here, and then our result is what is gonna be printed inside this body syntax here in between the two curly braces. So for our statement here, the first statement we need is our initializer. So what's the initializer? The initial variable which holds your initial value. So that's what the initializer means. So for our initializer, I'm gonna initialize this with an integer value. So I'm gonna say int, because that is a statically typed programming language. So int I. So why I'm saying int I is because many people are familiar with anything using I, so I don't want to say int and whatsoever, blah blah blah. So just int I for simplicity. Int I equal to, I'm going to start with 0. So close our initializer with a terminator or a semicolon. So close this with a terminator. So next off, we're going to have our condition. So for our condition, I'm going to say if I is less than, if I is less than 20, close this. If I is less than 20, so next off we're gonna have our increment. So I'm gonna say I plus plus, then I'm gonna come inside here and print I am I am less than. So okay, let me change this. 20 is so close, so let me say something like 50. Yeah, fine. So I'm gonna say I am less than 50. So I'm gonna say I am, so I'm gonna say the value for I. So our dollar I is, yeah, less than 50. So close your statement with the terminator. So let's go ahead running this and let's see our results. Okay, now here is our result. So it starts from 0. So it says 0 is less than 50, 1, 2. So you could see it prints for us every value that is less than 50 based on the statement of condition in which we stated out here for it, you understand? So I said for the first one, I said for int I equal to 0. So our initializer starts from 0. So if you want, your initializer could start from 10 or whatever. So we started from 0. So it's going to start from 0 to check if 0 is less than 50, print 0 is less than 50. So that's why you see the first one here, 0 is less than 50. Then it comes over and then increases. So 0 plus plus. So 0 plus plus simply means 0 plus 1, which is 1. So it comes here. So this time around, I is 1. So you're going to say if 1 now is less than 50, print 1 is less than 50. It prints 1 is less than 50. Then after that, it comes here again and says 1 plus plus. 1 plus plus is 1 plus 1, simply 2. So it comes over here, this time I being 2, and it says if 2 is less than 50, and so on and so forth. You understand? It recycles. So this is so much for us to comprehend. But you see, our results it starts from 0 to 49, the value before 50. So now I don't want to make use of any random value, so I want to make use of my set item here, my list item here. You understand? Because I told you guys we make use of the for loop to look through collections of and list of set items. So for int I equal to 0, so I'm no longer gonna make use of I. So I'm gonna go ahead and getting rid of everything here, since I don't want to make use of I any longer. So I want to iterate through this collection of list item here, or items here. So I'm gonna say for int num in num print not I. So I'm getting rid of every form of I here. Print num is less than 50. So let's run this and let's see our result. So you see 10 is less than 50, 10 is less than 50, 20, 30, 40, and 50 is less than 50. Oh my damn god, this sounds so awkward. 60 is less than 50. Is that true? 70 is less than 50. Is that true? I don't think that's true. So this is totally wrong. So from 50, 60 to 70 is totally wrong. So 50 is not less than 50. 50 is equal to 50. 60 should be greater than 50. Likewise, 70 should be greater than 50. So how do we correct this right now? So you see, let me explain this statement right now. First of all, so we came and iterated through this list item here. So we said for num. So this num here stands for like our I, kind of like for I in num. Like this num is for each value inside here. For each of the values inside this num here, check it based on this condition and run this print statement. You understand? So that's why it came here. It started from 10, 20, 30. So any value that we don't have inside here that doesn't exist, it doesn't check it for anything. Nothing concerns it with that. You understand? So and that's why we have this. So by correcting this right now, 50 is less than 50, 60, and 70. So we're gonna make use of our if inside here. So let me comment this first of all. So the right thing to say inside here is should be if if num if num is less than 50. Yep, if num is less than 50, let's get this print statement. So let's call this out and let's paste this my friend over here. Yeah, so a new position for you print and a new home for you print. So over here we said for int num in num. So that simply means for each of the values inside this num, we're checking it based on this if statement, and then we're running our output, or we're gonna get our output based on this print over here. So we say for each of them inside here, if each of them is less than 50, so 10, 20, 30, 40 is less than 50, then print 10 is less than 50, 20 less than 50, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So now let's see our results. So this should be the proper thing we would have done. You understand? So you see, now this is the right thing. So 10 is less than 50, 20, 30, and 40. And no longer 50 is less than 50, because you know 50 is equal to 50. Likewise, 60 is greater than 50, and also 70 is greater than 50. So how about for 50 equals 50, and then 60 is greater than 50, likewise 70 is greater than 50. So for if statements, we also have what we call an else keyword attached to it. You understand? So if this is this, how about if that is not that? So how about running something else? You understand? So that's when we imply the else. So I'm gonna say else. So else, let's print. So we're gonna have our curly braces for our code centers or our code block. So I'm gonna say else print num Okay, inside the string. So print num is greater than 50. Close this end. Let's run this. So now you see what we have over here. 10 is less than 50 through 20, likewise 30 and 40 is less than 50. That's fine. So it says 50 is greater than 50. So I bet you this is very wrong. This is totally wrong. So 60 is greater than 50, right? 70 is greater than 50. Correct. Very, very correct. So for us to correct the 50 is greater than 50. So what are we going to do? So there's also another keyword we're going to apply that comes along with if also aside the else. So the else statement automatically runs if this condition is not met. You understand? So you see, the condition is not met from 50. That's why the else starts to run from 50. It says to us 50 is greater than 50. You understand? Which is totally wrong. But 60 and 70 is greater than 50, and it's right. You understand? So for us to correct this, or not just correct it, for us to modify this, so let me hit the else down. So I'm gonna come here and say else. This is what we call else if, not else if, else if. Then this is like this takes the syntax like this. So let me let's come here. So inside here we need condition. So else if 50, I'm going to say if, okay, not 50, if num is equal to num, okay, no, if num is equal to 50, then what should happen here? So I'm going to go ahead, print num is equal to 50, and I bet you this is correct right now. And so let's go see our result. So let's run this 100%, 100%, 100%. So just trying to stay positive and keep the vibe going. You know, what's our result? So let me run this again, and now you see. So this is totally correct right now. Yup, guys, we stayed positive and we had that good energy going, good vibe going, and so perfect results. So always stay positive, have the good energy going and good vibe going. So you see over here we have 10 is less than 50, nice, 20 is less than 50, perfect, 30 is less than 50, great, 40 is less than 50, excellent, 50 is equal to 50, superb, 60 is greater than 50, wonderful, and 70 is also greater than 50, and perfect. You understand? Period. So now this is our perfect um our perfect results we got from iterating through this list of items here. You understand? And also not just iterating through the list of items, because we also differentiated them based on some certain conditions using the if statements. You understand? So this is it. So you could go through over this a couple of times to learn it and to be perfect or on it. You understand? So there's another method in which I want to show you guys that you could apply to the for statement. So let me just comment this for those of you guys that are going to use this to learn. So let's combine this and make another for loop here. So I'm going to say for int. So let me just copy this. Let's not delay. Yeah. So let me paste this, Control V. Yeah. Then after the num, I'm going to say dot where. Dot where is a method in which we apply here. Dot where, then inside this dot where you're gonna have to pass in a function, and the function in which you're gonna pass in should be a lambda function or an anonymous function. So what's a lambda function or an anonymous function? So an anonymous function or a lambda function are functions that don't have a name. So usually whenever we're creating functions, we start with the type of the function. It could be a void type, an empty function. It could be a function which returns a string, an integer, then followed by its name. So for an anonymous function or a lambda function, so they don't have a name or they don't have names, so you don't bother. So you just create the function. And most of the times, 90% of times, lambda functions or anonymous functions just take in one statement, one single statement. You understand? So, but if you want them to take in more than one statement, you're gonna have to embed the statement inside curly braces. You understand? But we don't want to make use of the curly braces, so we just want to make use up a single statement here for what I want to show you guys here. So inside this function right now, so I'm going to take in something called n. I'm just going to take in a value n. So I'm going to say if n is, so the first time I use greater than, okay, less than. So this time around, let me use greater than. So if n is greater than 50, so let's try out something different. So let me make use of this like this. So okay, I said equal to, so not suppose, yeah, this is how it should be. So this is how a lambda function is. So you have your equality sign and your greater than sign, kind of like an arrow, like forming an arrow for you. So this I'm highlighting here right now is just the function, you understand? So if n, this n simply signifies each of the values inside this norm here. So if each of the values inside this norm is greater than 50, you get me? If it's greater than 50, then let's go ahead printing. Let me copy this because it's just simply what I want to do. Control C, come here, Control V. Print norm is greater than 50. So let's run this and let's see our results. So we see 60 is greater than 50, perfect, 70 is greater than 50. Superb. So we see now we have a good result, and now this is simply a good control flow system flowing and working in accordance with our code. You understand? So whatever you want to say. So this is a fine, perfect code working. So friends, just go through over this and hope to see you guys in the next video. And that's that for control flow.